Not. I was very confused, not knowing whether I was angry or scared, but my face turned red. Not? So why is my heart beating so fast? He smiled even brighter, stared at me for a while, then suddenly put his arm around my waist, pulled me up from the bed, and hugged me straight out. I was extremely nervous, afraid he would realize something, so I quickly asked where he was going to take me. "Let's eat, I'm hungry." He said those words, then hugged me to the dining table right in front of Vong Van's parents and scooped me a bowl of porridge. I was so embarrassed that I wanted to get cancer, so I could only drink porridge under the gaze of Vong Van's parents. Thank God, after eating, Vong Van said he had to go out and told me to stay home and watch TV or talk to his mother to strengthen the relationship. My head nodded, more than a chicken pecking at grain, excited and happy because the opportunity had come. After Vong Van left, I changed into different clothes, found an excuse to lie to Vong Van's mother, and then went straight to Vong's widow's house. The widow of the Vong family is very famous in this area. After a little listening, I immediately knew that her house was in the west of the village, not far from the cemetery. The gate was bright red and there was a row of chicken feathers on the door. Very easy to find. I had been to the cemetery before, so I knew the way and found that bright red gate very quickly, but the chicken feathers hanging on the door looked unusual, completely contrasting with the bright red gate, looking extremely eye-catching. Black chicken feathers are very rare, but I'm sure this is the house of the Vong family's widow. I knocked on the door, told the widow Vong about Vong Van's changes, and also told her that I visited the grave during my period. The widow surnamed Vong still looked so fierce. After listening to me, her face turned black. Her eyes were also very gloomy. She asked me, "If you have your period, why didn't you say it yesterday?" I pushed all the blame onto Vong Van, saying that he wouldn't let me talk. Now I realized the seriousness of the problem, so I went to her hoping for help. Hearing that, Vong's widow was silent for a long time, but then didn't accept anything from me and told me to follow her into the house. I followed behind and discovered that she was the only one in the house. The decoration in the house was also very old. It seemed like the house had no windows, so it was good. Even though it was summer, her house was still cold. Extremely cold, just like the feeling outside a cemetery. The widow named Vong asked me to sit down, then searched the house for something. I thought she was looking for the knife used to draw blood. I was so nervous that my palms were sweaty. I didn't expect that after rummaging around for a while, she didn't intend to take my blood, but rather took it. A small ceramic vase was handed to me, telling me to open it and take a look. I obeyed and opened it. When I saw what was inside, I was so scared that I almost threw the ceramic vase away. In it was white powder, combined with the shape of the ceramic vase. I didn't need to say anything to know that it was a jar of ashes. That white powder was unmistakable ashes. Seeing me react like that, the widow named Vong laughed, as if she were laughing at my cowardice, and said, "What are you afraid of? It's not ashes, it's just hair ashes that I collected." The positive energy of living people mainly gathers on the top of the head, so the hair ashes of living people also have a lot of positive energy, which is a treasure to suppress demons. As long as you bring this back and sprinkle it on your boyfriend, he will be injured by hair ash and his soul will be destroyed. Is it that simple? I asked, knowing that it was the hair ashes of a living person. I was no longer afraid. But this widow named Vong is really powerful with so much hair ash. How much hair does she have to burn? It's as simple as that. But you have to remember, this thing has great damage to demons. Just touching it will destroy your soul. You have to think carefully. The widow of the Vong family was still not reassured, looking at me seriously and giving instructions. I nodded and finally breathed a sigh of relief. This thing hurts the ghost as much as possible. If Vong Van is truly possessed by a ghost, I just hope that the ghost's soul will disappear. I carefully put the ceramic vase away, thanked Vong's widow, and then returned to Vong Van's house. Not long after returning, Vong Van also returned, holding a large bag in his hand, full of things I like to eat. He gave me a snack and said he was tired from walking all afternoon and wanted to go back to his room to take a nap. There was no need to wake him up for dinner later. I nodded, looking at his gentle, smiling appearance. I was stunned for a moment. If he hadn't shown such strange signs last night, I still couldn't believe that Vong Van was possessed. Even though he's very different from before, except for last night's aggression, I think I like his sassy personality more. Looking at Vong Van's back to the room, my mind was in chaos. Later, when he falls asleep, I just need to go there, quietly sprinkle ash from his hair on him, his soul will disappear, and the honest and simple Vong Van will return. But I don't know why, thinking about these things, not only do I not feel relieved, my mood is even heavier, like being pressed down by a big rock. Vong Van must have been very tired. As soon as he laid down on the bed, he fell asleep, breathing evenly. Glancing at the bag of snacks he bought for me, I still quietly carried the small ceramic jar into the bedroom. He's a ghost. Even though he's kind to me and doesn't hurt me, he's still a devil. Furthermore, he took over Vong Van's body to live with me and did that to me. That alone is not a good thing. Thinking about how violent he was with me last night, I made up my mind to open the ceramic jar, take a handful of ash, and sprinkle it on him. As soon as he touched the ash in his hair, he suddenly jumped up from the bed, but he did not scream like in my imagination, nor did he struggle at all, only his face faded, his body also changed. Not long after, Vong Van completely transformed into a different person. Looking at the strange face before my eyes, I was stunned. This person is so handsome. More handsome than the handsome guys currently appearing on TV. His figure is even more masculine than theirs. His height must be up to 1m8. His muscles are symmetrical and solid. I couldn't move my eyes away. I even forgot that he was a devil, forgot that I was in a dangerous situation. Lu Duong, I treated you well, but do you want me to lose my soul? He stepped closer towards me. His eyes were extremely cold, like an angry lion. His cold, strong hand grabbed my neck, and with a little force he lifted me into the air. The feeling of difficulty breathing surrounded me, pulling me back to reality. I started struggling violently. No matter how handsome he was the devil, a ghost who wanted to kill me, and I was already dead. But I still can't understand where I went wrong. Seemingly realizing my confusion, he grinned, waved his hand, and threw me on the bed, then picked up the ceramic vase and sprinkled all the hair ash on himself. It's strange, isn't it? This ash cannot destroy my soul. Do you know why? Because the hair in this vase is not the hair of a living person, but the material is from a dead person, so this ash is also called ashes and has no effect on me at all. Why is that? I'm numb all over. Ashes. Why ashes? Why did the widow of the Vong family deceive me like that? Because you're stupid. Seeing me stunned, he curled his lips and smiled coldly, looking very proud, took a black feather from his body and threw it towards me. Looking at this strange black hair, I immediately understood in a blink of an eye. This is clearly a black chicken feather hanging on the door of the widow of the Vong family. It turns out that you and the widow named Vong are accomplices. My whole body trembled, so angry that my throat was about to smoke. It looks like I'm really about to die. I just wanted to make him lose his soul. Surely now he also wants